Go live.
All right.
Eons of battle. Eons of
Yeah.
battle. Eons.
I have
Eons
my
of battle.
laptop on a cookie sheet, like a mesh
Oh
cookie
yeah.
tray, and there is a fair amount of heat under the computer, so hopefully this will help a little. Didn't get a chance to gut it today.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. But probably
Jeez, I
tomorrow
got
or
2
something.
ads.
Yeah. Watch 3 ads. Refresh so that you get some more.
Mm-hmm. There we go. There you go. All right. Well, I'm gonna continue on these Gretchies.
Woo! All right. So far, so good. YouTube is saying that we have an excellent connection.
Perfect. Let's see that go away. As we
Yeah.
continue.
I hope it flip-flops.
Mm-hmm. I hate flip-flops. I'm not a flip-flop guy.
I like sandals.
Okay. Yeah, there's a big difference between the two.
There is. There is. Sandals are actually like stuck to your feet. Flip-flops are just a hope and a prayer.
Mm-hmm. I would say that they're both barely shoes.
Yeah.
And I don't like a barely shoe.
Sandals are a lot of a shoe. Flip-flops are almost no shoe.
Are Crocs sandals?
Is a taco a sandwich? I think Crocs are a sandal.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in off-road mode where you've got like the back bar, if you have that flipped up, it's a flip-flop.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah. My sister used to work at Foot Locker. Maybe I should call her.
Yeah, that's true. You should add her to the Skype. You should add her to the Skype call. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like Crocs are almost shoes though, because they just have holes in them.
They do just have holes in them.
I feel like sandals are a little bit more exposed.
Mm-hmm. Are we streaming? Where's our friends?
Yep. There, El Rondorio is here.
El Rondorio!
Where's our friends? It'd be amazing if no one showed up.
Oh, that'd be great. Just go to bed early.
El Rondorio, what? No burps?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not yet. I mean, we're working on them. We're developing them. I do have a burp water right over here.
I have a root beer. So
hopefully
that
also works.
There'll be some coming.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Spaceship. Wow, what a perfect profile picture. You've matched YouTube's color for dark mode. And so it just looks like you're a wonderful little spaceship. Zero 619. Hello, Eons and Nick. Hope you're fine, and the camera too.
Amazing.
Today I was able to find fine grit sand. TK's 3D Prints. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Henry, caught you live finally.
Yeah.
Today I'm finishing.
There
up,
it is.
I'm finishing up the energy weapon. I think this is a glaive. I mean, it could be any. All the Necron weapons look the same. If I said this is a war scythe, it'd be a war scythe. If I said it was a glaive, it'd be a glaive. If I said it was a staff of light, it'd be a staff of light. If I said it was a rod of covenant, it'd be a rod of covenant.
They have some great names over there in the Necron world.
And they're all blades attached to sticks.
Mm-hmm. Which aren't we all?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty close. Just a little bit of touching up, a little more blending. Watched a lot of cryptid stuff today. Loch Ness Monster, Big Feet.
You mean real stuff?
Yeah, real stuff.
Mm-hmm.
El Rondorio, how about a big choppa? This is a big choppa.
Mm-hmm.
Henry, the glaive rod of covenant energy. TK Stranger Prince. Damn, already a little laggy. We're doing nothing wrong.
That is odd.
Mm-hmm. We're only at 50%.
There you go. Hey, call me Mac. There's the old airbrush.
Yeah. Justin Powell getting some of those creamy blends going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, they call me Creamy Blend.
Mm-hmm. Do you come in a K-cup? Nice artisan blend.
Yep.
Where's Kilgore? What is Kilgore's thoughts on the K-cup? And
Probably
the
garbage.
fine, fine coffee that it is. The my local grocery store, I think has really a frustrating naming system, where at the top of the aisle, if you're at the front of the store, the banner says something different than it does at the back of the store, and they'll have reasonable stuff like cereal, coffee, but then they'll have like really specific stuff like K-cups and just particular branded food.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is really, really hard to find. Fake dairy is not by the dairy, and the dairy is not by the cereal. The Spam is in the ethnic aisle for some reason, even though Spam is all American.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get more American than salted maybe pork in a tin.
But so the labels on the front of the aisle are different than the back of the aisle, right? I feel like that almost makes sense because it's probably divided halfway.
It does, but if I'm looking for something and the thing I'm looking for, I could have read it. I'd have to read it in the front of the store.
Well, just be on the right side of the store, obviously.
Yeah.
Just know your what side of the store you need to be on without knowing where the product is.
TK Street Prince. Jay, if you're not using your airbrush, turn the compressor off. Who says I'm using the airbrush?
Ooh. It's a ghost.
Blends better than my Ninja. Ooh, you know who I was watching today? Ninjan. I like Ninjan. He's really good. He was painting some Nurgle today, and he painted it with the Games Workshop recommended colors to see if he could recreate the box art. And he could mostly do it. But he says the instructions are slightly wrong. Yeah, like when it tells you to layer, really the artist blended. So realistically, those instructions aren't very helpful. But man, it seems like everyone's getting in on the Plague Marine game. I want to paint some now. I feel left out.
Mm-hmm. They're very neat.
Mm-hmm. Especially with that new codex coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Henry, so I want to take the plunge into the Iwata Eclipse HPCS. I want this to be my first airbrush. I just feel like I could apply the money I would use on a cheap ones towards this instead. Yeah, a super cheap airbrush is very hit and miss. It might be fine, and you might get plenty of nice use out of it. It might just crap out after a little while. I went from a cheapy eBay to a Neo for Iwata, which is not technically Iwata, but it's still Iwata quality. And that was a very nice little airbrush. Probably very comparable to the Badger Patriot. Except for it had, was that the one that had the screw-on nozzle? Did the Neo have a screw-on?
I don't remember.
I think it did. Screw-on nozzles are iffy. They work. Like, they just work, but it's a real pain to have to screw on that nozzle every time.
Mm-hmm.
The self-centering ones are very nice.
Yep. Hey, Greg Turpin.
TK City Prince. My mini factory has Patreons and some awesome model makers, though the models are not free for patrons, but worth the models. But a patron tends to be £10 a month, and you get new models each month.
Yeah, Cobra Mode has one of those.
Cobra Mode. Yeah, at the last second of yesterday's stream was talking about. I just blurted it out. Games Workshop shouldn't sell STLs, and I actually think they should. But I think what would be neat is if they just kind of whipped up a little something, like a little terrain-y piece for each army, and made that available for free. I think that would be cool. But for sure, you'll never be able to just download a Space Marine STL from G-Dubs. Because that's not how you make money with your STLs. The way you make money is the Patreon.
Right.
There are people out there, I'm sure, who are making some money selling STLs, but they're not making money.
Yeah, not like a livable...
Or like a giant corporation money.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Powell should try glazing some yellow to make the glow effect pop. I am glazing yellow. I know Anvil Industries lately has been doing a lot of 3D printing or selling of STLs. But I'm a little nervous that they're not going to be as perfect as their regular products are. Because they're very good. Anvil Industry resin is some of the best in the business. And their prices aren't bad for their resin. Around $9 or $10 a model.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty standard.
Okay.
I would not want this Necron Overlord as a 3D print.
Mm-hmm.
The plastic has a little bit of give that the 3D prints don't have as much.
I like to think that if you owned a 3D printer, you'd print something intricate and really advanced, and right as you're taking it off the bed, it would like snap, fall apart, fall on the floor. Your dog would eat it.
I'm sure the supports would love coming off this tube.
Mm-hmm.
Painting yellow on a sword. Painting yellow on a sword. This is the new hit single from Eons'Battle.
Yep. People love our music.
They love our music. Holy cow.
It's everybody's favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
EOB Music. You can find us on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Eons of songs.
Yeah.
Eons of singing.
TK's 3D prints. That would be easy. Little flexi resin in the mix and pop that out. Easy print. TK's 3D prints. I don't believe this could be an easy print. I mean, sure, you could print it in parts, but I don't know. There's so much fiddly little spindliness going on here.
Fiddly little spindliness.
Yeah. Some fiddle spin.
Some fiddle spin. Some tiddlywinks or whatever.
And even, like, I don't know. I've never worked with flexi resin. It sounds neat. But does it have enough give? Like, is it comparable to plastic or PVC? Or is it still like glass, like regular resin? Use a hairdryer on them before you cure it, and they warp and brush off, leaving no damage to the model. But that Necron would be an easy print.
Interesting.
You can
blend flexi like a rubber band when it's 100%.
Does that mean it's... But does that make for a nice model?
If you use 100% of the flexi.
Interesting. Like, I think Space Marines would probably print beautifully because of just chunky flat surfaces. But I don't know. I haven't worked with that. I've bought a couple of 3D prints from folks on Etsy. I've seen some of the stuff Nick prints. It is fragile and annoying because it's covered in tiny dots from the supports. Those poor salamanders. They were snapping left, right, and center. TK strip prints. Adding a little to the mix will allow you to bend the parts with no damage. Ooh. So is that stuff just standard issue? Like you pour in 5% into your resin all the time?
And so what resins are you using to be able to do this? Or I guess what brands specifically?
TK 3D prints, no dots from support. Oh, wouldn't that be lovely?
Any standard resin you mix with flexi, the flexi with it. So you can mix between brands, it doesn't matter.
I don't mean to be down TK's 3D prints. It's just, it sounds too good to be true. Little drop of this magical elixir, and all of a sudden you got perfect prints.
I need to post some pics to your Twitter.
Yeah.
I have perfect prints before adding Flexi.
TK's 3D prints. I have perfect prints before adding Flexi. Just Flexi makes the stuff more durable. Because Flexi seems like the only way to print things like these tubes. I wouldn't want these tubes made out of the standard 3D print resin.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to. I think that's interesting to try out.
Yeah, it's like a add to cart immediately.
I mean, TK's 3D prints is a TK's 3D print. So, it'd be a good thing to try out.
Because that's the problem with the problem with the 3D printing is it's so fragile.
Bah. Just want to get that out there. Speaking of burps.
Yeah.
You know what time it is? Okay.
I think this NECRON Overlord might be one of the best Indominus models. He's saucy.
What is the worst Indominus model?
Probably the Ancient. Or it's not an Ancient, it's a Primaris Blade Guard Ancient. And I think it's good. But I totally get why it wouldn't slot in beautifully in a lot of Space Marine armies, because he looks a little like knightly. He's got an interesting looking cloak and tabard, which a lot like he wouldn't look amazing in like an Imperial Fist or an Ultramarine army, as nice as he looks in a Black Templar army. Call me Mac. This is always nice to me. Watching people don't get shit faced with beer. Watching people don't get shit faced with beer.
Oh, it looks like you're drinking beer.
Oh, root beer. Yeah, going to town on some root beer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably die though. Yeah, my days are numbered.
Yes. I've been saying that for years.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
How much glazing does it take
A lot.
to perfectly blend these colors?
A lot.
From very dark red to pure yellow. It's taking more than 2 thin coats.
A lot.
Oh, Duncan.
Yep. You're just witnessing the birth of a new song, too.
Take me home, Duncan Roads, to the place where I belong. Not Games Workshop, 'cause he left there. Probably 'cause he wasn't getting paid.
Exactly. A classic. That's a classic song.
And then that end burp is part of the mix.
Yep, of course it is.
Yeah, if somebody wants to clip that and send it to Duncan, let's get a little business going. A little fake business action.
Little fake business. Honestly, if we did a Duncan Rhodes song, I think people would show up for it.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll do unprompted and unwanted songs for other creators.
So what's the Miniac song?
Man, what is it? He likes vampires.
Mm.
I don't know. There's not really vampire music.
That's true.
Something with paint more minis.
Paint more minis. Well, I think it'd be like a rock song, like a heavy metal. El Rondorio. Duncan, Norn Queen Alexis's favorite GW figure painter.
Yes. Yeah, she brings him up all the time.
That is such a specific thing to say.
It is. It really is.
That sounds like something that Jay and I say to each other.
Yeah, Norn Queen.
That sounds like something that we talk about on the Patreon.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Which, by the way, there's a Patreon stream tonight. So after this stream, we're gonna go over to Patreon. We get wet, we get wild, and we take off our shirts. Okay, maybe not the last one.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, maybe the last one. They don't know.
You don't know.
And you'll never know.
If enough people peer pressure us.
Unless you can scrape together $5.
Mm-hmm.
Patrons can confirm the Wet and the Wild. G6 Bloom, guys, can you be a part of the YouTube tournament in Gibraltar? Is that a thing?
I don't know what that is. I need more information.
Ooh, I know. I saw something on some early Baltimore videos. It was like the IDIC Beer YouTube conglomerate program or something like that. I keep meaning to look it up.
G6 Bloom, do you have more information for us?
Yeah, or is that just a joke? Because Gibraltar sounds like a funny. I know it's a real place, but it sounds like a funny thing. Hellrunner, does anybody remember Mike McVeigh as a GW Studio painter? Nope. I've probably watched some of the videos. I just don't know him by name. Craig Turpin, Miniac gets Enya.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, Joey Flores is a savage. Metal opera about a guy who has a painting YouTube channel, but deep down hates painting and doesn't play with his models.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Trokel, Miniac has to be to the tune of She's a Maniac.
That's pretty good.
He's a maniac, maniac on the tubes.
Mm-hmm.
And he just doesn't know if he can paint here anymore. ZWQ! Hello, everyone.
Hey, hey.
G6 Bloon. And Battle Reports is hosting. I don't get it still.
I don't know. Is there something to look like? What should we look up?
Is there a cash prize? Is there a free bar? Is there an open bar?
Is there an open bar? We can only do events if there's an open bar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's number one.
So would we be playing? Would we be... I don't know.
CNBQ, what is happening? Did you hear any of the Miniac song? I think our next big thing is going to be unsolicited music videos and original music for other content creators.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Everybody loves a good song.
What song for Goober? Anybody see Goober's newest video where he paints for 100 hours? He's got some crazy song selection in that video.
Mm-hmm.
Warhammer 40k. Honestly, you're one of my favorite hobby channels. Thanks for your content. Aw, thanks. Warhammer 40k. G6 Bloom. Sorry, it's SN Battle Reports. Check Winter SEO's channel. I know Winter SEO. Coming back, some lo-fi tune.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hi guys, it's Brent from Goobertown Hobbies. There's just that over and over and over again. But there's some sick lo-fi.
Mm-hmm. I think somebody who makes miniatures should make all of the content creators as figurines, and they can be 3D printable.
Exactly. And the TK 3D prints it for us.
So would everyone paint themselves, or would we paint each other?
I like to think you get the set.
Ah, and then do you paint each other like one of your French girls?
Yes.
Ron Torio, I think Goob is going crazy from lack of human content. World War Art. Did you see Sleepy Whatsits new video? I don't know Sleepy Whatsits. Joy Flores. The lack of war crimes in Star Wars is alarming. That's true. That's true. We haven't been on Star Wars in a hot minute.
I think this whole week we have not talked about Star Wars.
Call me Mac. Black Magic Craft made a mini for Miniac. Oh, neat. You can scan your face and place it on your own mini. Also, Goober has 3 models you can 3D print. G6 Bloon, please, if this is what they say, I really think you guys deserve a seat at the battle. The SEO thing? Isn't the SEO in a far-off land? Like, I don't think we can drive there.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can figure out FaceTime in time to for the event, so...
Yeah, where is it?
Nicholas Shozin?
Got it.
Prize Shozin? Hello, how are you?
Hi. I just sent you some of TK's 3D prints.
Oh, yeah, I'm dying. Dying to see them. Ooh.
I mean, they look pretty good.
They do look pretty good. They're all very natural, though.
Ah, I see.
Not poo-pooing them. I'm sure they're perfection.
You think that there's some crime hiding?
There can be a little hidden crimeage with fur and with muscle and with mass.
The lady one's pretty clean.
The lady one is really good.
Mm-hmm.
The little lady demon or fawn.
Mm-hmm.
Or elf with horns. Or just weird human. Dr. Drokel, getting back on subject. Jay, you need to watch a video on YouTube from Star Wars Coffee, which is Dave Filoni explaining why the prequels were genius. Were they genius because if you strip away all the bad, the story's not garbage?
Because isn't that true for everything?
Yeah, I mean, there's something to the prequels because Dave Filoni, who was he a director or producer on Clone Wars? Or I mean, he was the maker. He did a wonderful job spinning the prequels into gold. But I mean, you still have nonsense like Jar Jar is the one who gets Palpatine elected Supreme Chancellor. So, you know, do I need to keep going? The ultimate evil in the galaxy is from Naboo, and his name is Sheev. No one, not the rash and headstrong Anakin Skywalker, or the you know, honorable and kind Queen of Naboo ever go back for Anakin's mom in a decade. They just leave her as a slave on Tatooine until Anakin has a nightmare.
G6 Bloom. It's a content creator, 40k Gathering, Hellstorm, Tabletop Tactics, SN Winters, Chapter Master, Clarks, Meg, Dave, so on.
Ooh.
Interesting. How do we be a part of this? And what do we have to do?
Also, it sounds like a bunch of gamers.
That's true. We don't really game.
Not so much.
Especially not recently, you know, like the past 2 years.
We could get the job done, but if they want a good job...
That is true.
Then some of those other guys sound a little bit more up to it.
Oh, it looks... I think I found something. Found a video about it. So we'll have to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe watch it tomorrow. But that does sound neat. If it's just content creating and it isn't necessarily just battle reports, totally be down.
If they need someone to talk about Star Wars, I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Jokel. Well, in one respect, they were genius because they were a set of 3 stories that made linear sense. At the very least, they were competent due to that, which is more than I can say for the other movies. Dr. Jokel, are you trying to say that the narratives of the prequels are better than the new movies? I'll give you the new movies. They're not the strongest thing on earth, but are you telling me that there's anything that matters in The Phantom Menace? Not one thing of importance happens in The Phantom Menace. Tell me one thing. And if you say they get Anakin, we know they get Anakin because he's in the first 5 minutes of Attack of the Clones, where they say, "My Anakin, you've grown. Don't we know each other from the last movie?" Well, I guess that's all we needed.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing of note that happens, and the only thing that happens is metachlorians, which they never ever bring up in any Star Wars ever again. Ooh, XenoBQ. I've been playing a lot of Battlefront 2 recently, the new one, because it was free, and the battle droids are my favorite thing in the Star Wars currently. I do love the battle droids. Battle droids are great. Joy Flores, double-bladed lightsaber. That's true. Gotta give it to the movie. There was a double-bladed lightsaber, and it was pretty sweet.
G6 Bloom, go watch Winter's video. He offered his SN Battle Reports email in the video. Awesome. Yeah, I just found that video, so we'll take a look on it. And thanks for letting us know that this exists.
This could be our big break.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. We'll have to get a new makeup set.
Mm-hmm. XenoBQ, they're adorable. They wish their turrets good luck, and then they say goodbye to their grenades when they throw them. G6 Bloom, come on, Valric is there. That's a day's walk. Valric. I don't watch a lot of Valric. I think it's just I get all the same stuff from Kirioth. That's where I get all my news and rumors and rants about the dice, because the dice are always bad.
Mm-hmm.
Just put a logo for the 6 and make them normal.
Yep. That's very true. But what if you want to have fun?
No one can read them.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the... Well, what's the one that you sent me that looks just disgusting?
I mean,
there's
newest...
one that's absolutely, it's like fleshy.
Dice. Yeah. I think they're Nurgle.
Oh, they're Nurgle.
Yeah,
disgusting.
They're like PVC instead of resin.
Yeah, because I thought that the Necron ones were my least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like those are really bad.
The Necron ones are pretty bad. There's been some that are really bad. Like for the Ioneth Deepkin, they did completely clear dice with seaweed, little lines of seaweed representing the numbers. But since it was completely see-through, you could see all the seaweed lines at the same time. So it was just a mess. And it's crazy. Games Workshop does not seem to be improving on their dice. Dr. Jokel. Darth Maul is cool, but he's just a cool guy. Duel of the Fates is good, but it's just a song. Like, those things don't make a difference in the movie. Qui-Gon's death doesn't... No one cried at Qui-Gon's death. No one cared one bit except for, oh, Liam Neeson just bit it. Forcing Obi-Wan to train Anakin before he was ready to teach. We don't know he's ready to teach. He seems like he's a by-the-book guy who is ready to rock. The opening title crawl says 2 Jedi Knights. You know, I don't know if George just didn't read the script very well before he wrote that, but it seems like Obi-Wan was ready to go. The beginning of Anakin's fear by leaving his mom. I mean, he was sad for like a day, and then he said, "Whoopee! Let's try spinning. That's a good trick." The intro of Luke and Leia's mom. Okay, well, we knew they had a mom. And the pod race. Pod race is cool. But, like, you can just name cool things from any movie. If you go by 7, you could say it's great that we got, 6 minutes of no dialogue that introduces us to Rey in a beautiful way. We have the Knights of Ren who look cool but never do anything, just like Darth Maul. We've got a super cool bad guy with a unique red lightsaber in Kylo Ren. We've got some badass music. And probably one of the best lightsaber fights of all time, rivaling the Obi-Wan Darth Maul fight with the fight in the woods at the end of 7.
It was a cool fight.
Elron Dorio, the Snotling Blood Bowl dice. There's the Snotling Blood Bowl dice. Is that the one where they're squigs? Dr. Joker.
Yeah, they should fire that person. They keep making the dice.
They really should. They've gone too far. It's like George Lucas.
We may have gone too far in a few places.
But we can diminish the effects of it.
And then they make the Necron dice after that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Games Workshop and dice. Just give up. Or just have fun-colored dice with normal lettering and a special thing for the 6. That's all anyone wants. Alexander Bosch. I first saw Phantom Menace when it was originally in theaters. I still get shivers thinking about the Duel of Fates. The scene changed media for 11-year-old me. Duel of the Fates is pretty great, but there's one awkward moment. Because the Duel of the Fates, dun dun da da dun, that it keeps going, but then there's one little fight in the middle because they keep cutting back to the 4 things that are happening. The Jar Jar having his pratfalls with the guns, the space battle where Little Orphan Annie is doing spinning, the incredibly important lightsaber duel, and the 14-year-old princess running around shooting battle droids. This is a very good movie. And there's just one part of the fight where there's no music, and it's kind of weird. And the music would stick right in. It'd be great. And I think Phantom Menace is my favorite of the prequels. I think it just has the best art. And it almost feels like not a Star Wars trilogy movie because nothing of any importance happens. It's like a Star Wars story. You're just along for the ride.
So a solo story solo.
Solo, a solo, Star Wars solo story.
Sponsored by Solo Cups.
Sponsored by Solo Cups. TK Studio Prince, I saw the first movie on its release and was awesome. The other half at the time enjoyed it also. Dr. Jokel. Well, please make sure to let John Williams know about his musical mistake next time you see him. I mean, I don't know if that was Johnny. I think that was probably whoever edits the movie. And I think it was done that way because I think we just come off of a comedic moment with Jar Jar into the intense duel, and it would have been weird if we go straight from a silly scene into an intense scene. And so I think dropping the music was a way to make it not as awkward. Mm-hmm. But I think it's probably just awkward to balance 4 different action scenes at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot of great moments in The Phantom Menace where nothing particular is happening on screen, but the music is just going wild.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great moments. There's a great moments when the Queen is retaking Theed Palace, and they just walk around the corner, but the music is going wild. I think Phantom Menace doesn't annoy me like Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith does, because those movies actually have some stakes, whereas Phantom Menace has none. And arguably, you could skip. You could probably get away with skipping Attack of the Clones too, and just going straight to Revenge of the Sith.
I think you could skip all of them.
But then, how are you going to see Darth Vader as a little kid? How are you going to see Boba Fett as a little kid?
You know what? Maybe it's better than my imagination. Not everything has to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
TK Studio Prince. Jay, you have 7 minutes of complaining left.
Yeah!
Well, not if you want to join the Patreon.
That is true, yeah. I could complain all night long.
Never not complaining.
I just can't wait for many years to go by and the new movies are not being scrutinized as brutally. Just like the prequels aren't being scrutinized as brutally anymore. And so the people who really enjoy them can just enjoy them.
Psh, okay. Everyone will hate these movies because they suck. Rondorio J, are you using words from Patton Oswalt's arguments?
Yeah! Oh, I love Patton. Want some ice cream? Well, here's a big bag of rock salt. I love Patton. Xenu Q, have you heard of the Machete Order? A New Hope, Empire, Clones, Revenge, Return, Phantom Menace. It's a crazy order. Wait, A New Hope, Empire, that makes sense. Clones, I don't know why anyone would watch Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith is watchable, sort of. Return of the Jedi, Phantom Menace. That seems like a weird order. Dr. Jokel. I enjoy Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith way more than Phantom Menace, mostly because of more Obi-Wan. That's fair. I think any order of prequel enjoyment is fair, because really, everybody enjoys those movies in very different ways, because they're not very good.
Whoa.
But there's fun stuff. Like, if you really love the battle droids and the clones, then it makes sense to enjoy watching Clone Wars, or Attack of the Clones, more than the other two. If you like lightsaber fights, the only movie to watch is Revenge of the Sith, because that movie is 90% lightsaber fights. And if you like neat stuff and actually kind of comprehensible planet hopping, then the first one's probably the best. Because there's not much jumping back and forth between different plot lines on different planets, which is actually kind of nice. In Clone Wars,
I like it when it's convoluted. Which one do I watch for that?
Joey Flores. Fans not shitting on the new movies. You're more likely to see the heat death of the universe first.
Yep. I like to think that there'll be aliens arguing about it after we're gone.
TK Studio Prince. Best way to say it was there was not much else to worth watching in them years. ZNubiQ. The idea is to retain the reveal at the end of Empire. You go back and confirm with Clones and Revenge, then finish with Return. Menace is just supplementary material. Dr. Jokel. You know, a lot of people didn't care for Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom until they saw Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Ah. That is true. Temple of Doom. I like Temple of Doom. But,
I like it too. It's definitely the weakest one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not Crystal Skull is pretty bad.
Well, yes, but out of the ones that matter.
Out of the ones, that's a great way of putting it. Mm-hmm. That's a great way of putting it. Out of the ones that matter, it's the weak one.
Although I do like it. Mm-hmm. Seem to be cute. Temple of Doom still sucks.
Yeah. The only thing some of the nice stuff about Crystal Skull is the opening is pretty good. Like the first 20 minutes of that movie, pretty good. Everything before the plot starts. And then I like the look of the actual Crystal Skull. Like that's a cool thing.
Oh, it is cool.
TK Sturdy Prince. Crystal Skull was bad and I own it. Lol. Mm-hmm. Dr. Jokel. Temple of Doom is maligned because it's a darker story. It can't all be fun with Nazis. That's true. It can't always just be fun and Nazis. Monkey brains. Mm-hmm. You will go to Bangkok Palace.
You just got canceled for saying that.
That's the line, though. They taught that guy the line 2.5 seconds before they turned on the camera.
Well, and would you look at that?
Yeah.
It is 10 o'clock, and you know what that means? We're going to be jumping over to Patreon.
Yep.
Where we get wet, we get wild, we say crazy stuff.
Yeah.
We don't wear pants. I don't wear any clothes at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of fun. So we'll see you guys there, and if you're not going to be there, then you're square.
Yeah.
squares.
All right, everyone. Good night.
Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Stream.